Mic check. What's going on, YouTube? I'm Don. Today is technically Tuesday, October 24th, because I'm doing this video after midnight. But I went to theaters earlier to see Killers of the Flower Moon, the latest movie by Martin Scorsese. Very highly anticipated movie. Like I said, Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, all-star cast, all-star director. What I didn't know is that it was based on a true story. So just to get into it, what happens, I think the settings is maybe like 1920s, early America. I'm thinking it's maybe right after the Great Depression, and it is set in Oklahoma, and the movie surrounds the Osage Native American tribe. Yeah, so the Osage Native American tribe, which is has a reservation in Oklahoma, they find oil on their land, and of course, everyone knows where there's oil, there's a lot of money to be made. And one of the main themes of this movie was greed. It kind of just showed you what people would do for money, basically lose their morals. And it focuses in on one particular family of 4 sisters and also their mother. So the sisters are Molly, Minnie, Anna, and Rita. And Leo DiCaprio's character Ernest is I'm assuming it's World War One, since the movie was set in the 20s. He's a World War One vet. He comes back home to Oklahoma to see his Robert De Niro plays his uncle. Everyone in the town calls Robert De Niro King. I believe his real name is like Billy Hill, but everyone just calls him King. So we basically have King, we have Ernest, and Ernest's older brother Byron. So as soon as Leo comes home, he gets a job chauffeuring. But King is already planting seeds into Ernest's head, like we need to capitalize on the wealth of the Native Americans. So Ernest falls in love with one of the 4 sisters, Molly, and while he's chauffeuring her, and this is kind of what kicks off everything. I believe the first person to be, so what was happening, there are a lot of Native Americans being slaughtered, and of course it's no secret that it's because of the wealth. A lot of white men are marrying Native American women to legally have a say in the wealth, pretty much. So this is the plan King has for Ernest. And something to note about Leo's character in the movie is he's not very bright. I feel like he's a good person, but he is also very easily manipulated, especially by his uncle, and at least that's how they portrayed him in the movie. Molly's character in this movie goes through a lot. She loses a lot of people. I believe the first sister to die was Minnie, and actually her husband, Minnie's husband, I think his name was Billy Smith, in the movie, he turns around and marries her sister Rita. So that kind of lets you know, it's not about love. It's all about money for the people of, I believe it was Fair Oak, Oklahoma. Something, another tidbit in the movie, kind of like another historical event that's happening along the same timeline as this, is Black Wall Street, which were the murders of an African American community in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I believe the massacres lasted like 2 days, and it was also something that was happening in Oklahoma around the same time period that this was happening. King actually mentions it in the movie because he wants to blame everything on, everything that's happening in Tulsa. Maybe saying it's, black people that are angry because of XYZ. But I thought that was cool for that to be mentioned in the movie, because that's a lost fact about African American history. But so Billy marries Rita. Molly is obviously devastated about her sister dying from an illness in the movie. And another thing to note about King, he is very in with the Osage tribe, with the Native American tribe. I think they call him like the king of, not the hill, but basically just the king of that area. He's in with the politicians, he's in with the government, he's in with the Native American people because he's been there for so long. So as the movie progresses, one thing we do see is Molly's mother is not happy that her bloodline is pretty much being whitewashed. She wants to keep old Native American traditions and just keep everything all in the family. But she actually ends up dying as well from illness. And so this is 2 people Molly has lost, I think in the course of maybe 2 years or something like that. And while this is going on, we find out that Molly is diabetic. I think Ernest was saying that she was one of the maybe first 5 people in the area that was able to even get insulin. So that kind of lets you know what the time period is and things like that. But she's battling that illness, and Ernest and King are plotting on a way to pretty much exterminate the rest of her family so they can get their fortune for themselves. So the next one of her sisters to die is Anna. And something else to point out about King, he's very calculated, he's very manipulative, and he always makes things look as if they were supposed to happen. I guess he wanted to paint Anna as a belligerent person and a drunk and someone who kind of, just got what was coming to her. But in reality, Ernest's brother Byron kills Anna. So that's 3 people that are dead from Molly's family. So next we see kind of like hysteria from the local Native Americans, and they bring in private investigators of which Ernest and Byron quickly kill, because of course they're trying to keep everything under wraps. So the last straw for Molly, who is battling this, illness, she's pretty much bedridden in a declining condition. King and Ernest hire a hitman to bomb Rita's house. So she would pretty much be the last of, anyone that would stand in the way of them, seeing their plan out. Once Rita's house is bombed, Molly and a lot of the Osage tribe travel to Washington, D.C. to enlist the help of the government and politicians and kind of just bring awareness to what's going on. And this prompts the Federal Bureau of Investigation to come to Oklahoma and just see, what's going on. All these Indians, all these Native Americans are being killed. It seems like no one is doing anything about it. So this sort of starts the beginning of the end for King, Ernest, Byron, and that whole family and their whole plan, really, because once the federal government gets involved, they leave no stone unturned. They're asking people in high places, people in low places. They really get to the bottom of what's going on, which leads to the arrest of Ernest. And he's kind of put in a situation where he basically has to choose his family or his uncle. He has to choose between Molly, they have 2 kids, and his uncle and his brother. So it's basically a situation where they're saying, you testify against King, and we'll grant you, immunity from any charges or anything like that. And all while this is happening, Molly's condition continues to worsen, and she's eventually taken to the hospital by some of the federal agents that come because she was refusing hospital care. She was trusting her care into the hands of Ernest, she was almost really on her deathbed. When the trial starts, all of the Osage Native American tribe, all of them are there, as well as, of course, Ernest, King, everybody involved. Once Molly finds out about all the things, Ernest has been doing, it's kind of like, of course she feels betrayed, and it was just a lot, because to lose 3 sisters and a mother definitely left Molly, devastated, questioning life. And like I said, we really just saw what greed can do. And people say, money is the root of all evil, and this movie definitely reflected that. But I think the turning point at the end of the movie was when Ernest got news that his daughter had died of whooping cough. I think that was what clicked in his brain, like, I need to do what's right and testify against King, his uncle, and, do what's right pretty much by my family. And so he went on to testify against his uncle. And I think it was powerful for Scorsese, the director of the movie, to actually come and deliver some of the last lines on screen in the movie. And they kind of wrapped it up by saying that King was found guilty, of course, but he was released, I believe they said on good behavior, and was able to live out his life. Ernest and Byron were able to live out their lives after a brief jail sentence, and Molly went on to remarry and died of complications from diabetes at the age of 50. So, it just goes to, I think it was a good representation of America, for one. I'm also glad that this story was able to be told, and it was based off of the book, I believe, of the same title, Killers of the Flower Moon. And I didn't know what to expect from this movie, actually. Because if you know Scorsese, you know Wolf of Wall Street, you know Goodfellas, you know probably Taxi Driver and The Irishman, and all these different movies that are great, but they aren't. This isn't his typical genre. So I was definitely surprised to get this project from him, but I think he's one of the best directors, definitely of this generation, but I would say of all time. And Leo and Robert De Niro are, in my opinion, two of the top 10 actors of all time. So to have these three together on this project was it spoke volumes. And I think Robert De Niro did I don't think I've ever seen him in a role where like I hated his character and he was just villainous. He's definitely not always played the good guy, but I think this role was different from him, and he played it so well. And Leo also played his role well, but that just speaks to their acting skills. And I'm glad that this story was able to be told again, because it's a part of American history that I think people want to omit or leave out. But I think sometimes you have to tell everything, even the not so pretty truth. So I love the movie. I definitely recommend it. 8 out of 10 in my opinion, and I look forward to whatever else Scorsese does in the future. I know it'll be quality, and I know I definitely go out to see it. So that's my review for Killers of the Flower Moon. Y'all check it out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And yeah, that's it. We out.
Thank you. Come again.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, wait, baby, bitch.
Sorry on the beat.